Hi, I was apparently in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
Wrong Zoom meeting, but I made it.
All right.
I was like, gosh, it's getting really late. Where is everyone? Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
We are ready for stretching.
Yay! Okay. All right. I do have a playlist for today. It's not one that I made myself, but it is one that I've been listening to a lot lately. I'm going to share it in our chat. You're welcome to turn that on. It's very soothing. So, does anyone have any requests for what we're going to stretch today? Feel free to let me know or to type it into the chat box if you'd prefer. No? Okay. So we decided to get this really expensive bassinet for the baby because it is magical and it soothes your baby for you. It's called a snoo. What it does is you put your baby in, you strap your baby in. It's like it has to be strapped in or it won't turn on properly. And then when the baby starts to fuss, well, you turn it on and it starts to sort of soothe the baby to sleep. And then when the baby starts to fuss, it like amps up its soothing and tries different things and like learns what works for your baby so that it can soothe it better. I know it sounds ridiculous, but my first baby never slept at all, ever, the first year at all. So we were like, let's do the stupid, expensive thing because it'll be worth it. Well, we got it. Worked great for the first 6 weeks. And then it started to malfunction in the most hilarious way. What it does, we put the baby down. This baby's a good sleeper. So he's asleep, he's soothed, he doesn't really need anything, but it's going. And then it starts to go more and more and more until it sounds like an alarm is going off. And the baby is going like this. So I was talking to some friends about it today, and I was like, I don't really know I don't think it means anything, right? But like if I look at it and I kind of examine what it might mean if I was going to give it meaning in my life, this is sort of how I am with my older child, with both of them really. Like they're kind of chill and I'm like, let's get crazy. Like it's bedtime, let's do gymnastics. And my husband's always like, hey, maybe you want to like chill out a little bit. We're trying to wind the child down. And I'm like, yeah. Let's sing a song. And it's been really interesting. I don't think that connection really exists. But it's interesting sometimes to look at the things that are going on in your life and see if you can find some meaning, assign some meaning, find something there that that leads you to discover something in yourself that you maybe wouldn't have seen otherwise or you wouldn't have noticed otherwise. So I have been focusing on being more calm lately. And so let's get into that. The playlist is very calm. Please feel free to put anything in the chat box if you decide you want any particular stretching. Otherwise, we're going to get into it. Stop. Nice. Okay, so let's start off. If you have blocks or blankets or straps nearby, it might be more comfortable to use them. So, or pillows or anything, feel free to grab that if you have it, or anything that could kind of pretend to be those things. All right, so let's start off. Go ahead and press play on your music if you'd like to. And let's start off on our tummies. So we're going to come into a prone shavasana. So belly down and then You can bring your hands under your forehead if that's comfortable, or you might be more comfortable with a cheek down and arms by your sides. And then it might also feel good to bring your big toes to touch. If this is bringing too much pressure into the low back, feel free to change it up. You might bring a pillow under your feet. That might feel better. Or if laying on your belly just is really uncomfortable, you can roll to your side. And then start to bring your focus to your breath. Taking nice deep breaths. Start to notice the length of your natural, comfortable inhale. And also the length of your natural, comfortable exhale. And then see if you can make your exhale just a little bit longer. Let's take one more deep breath, one more extended exhale. And then you're going to press back and find your child's pose. So hips come to your heels. You might like to bring your knees wide, or it might be more comfortable for your knees to be together. The arms can be forward out to the side or by your side. Coming back to that extended exhale. Last breath. And then lifting up onto hands and knees. Let's just take a few rounds of cat-cow, but we're going to take opposite breath. So on your inhale, you're going to round your spine. Let that breath fill your belly and press out through the low back. And then exhale, instead of really arching through the back, we're more reaching forward through the crown of the head, getting really long. Maybe feeling this more as a stretch in the belly. Inhale, rounding, stretch the low back. And exhale, getting long. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's take 2 rounds of regular cat-cow. So inhale, deep arch in the back. Lift the head, lift the tailbone. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now tuck your toes. Shift your weight back, and let's just start here with the hands still on the ground. Take a little bit of a stretch through the feet, the toes, the calves. And then if it feels like you want more of a stretch, you can start to walk your hands in and bring your hands up to your lap, or stop anywhere along the way. You can also stay down. On your next breath, hands come down to the mat. We're going to lift the knees, bring the heels towards the ground. You might bring your feet a little bit wider. So we're looking for a stretch in the calves here. So hands stay on the ground. The heels are going to reach down as the head and chest also reach down. So if you're feeling this more in your back than in your calves, you might try finding a little bit more lift in the chest, and then try rocking forward or shifting back to see if you can find it a little more in the calves. Take one more breath. And then you can lift up. Let's come to a seat. Good. Let's bring right leg forward. Left foot can come in towards your right thigh, and then just getting tall, send the tailbone back behind you, and see if you can drop your knee down towards the ground and feel a deeper stretch in the hamstring. If you're not feeling a stretch there, you can start to shift forward, using your inhales to get taller and your exhales to get a little bit closer towards the ground. And it might be like a microscopic amount of closer. On your next breath, you can lift up. You're going to bring your left foot into your right elbow crease, and then left arm can come around the left knee. We're just going to rock back and forth a little bit. Find a little bit more mobility through the left hip joint, at least some lubrication. And then if it feels good to go a little deeper, you might grab your left foot with your left hand and start to open out to the left side a little bit more. Maybe even opening. Maybe starting to lift the left foot up a little higher. And then we're going to set the left foot down on top of the right thigh. So it might be in close towards your right hip, or it might be further down towards your right knee. If none of that feels good, you can just leave it down on the ground. So from here, this is going to give us a little bit more weight, obviously in the right leg, to hold that knee down. So if when you get into this stretch, you feel it more behind the knee, you might adjust your left foot back down to the ground. So from here, lifting up a little higher, and then you can start to shift forward. On your next inhale, you can lift up. We're going to bring the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Bring the right arm either around the left leg or to the outside of the left leg. And we'll take a little twist here, just about 10 breaths like we've been doing. So lifting up tall on your inhale, and then exhaling, you can twist a little deeper. Let's come back to center. Now this next one is a little funky. So I'm going to show it to you from the side so you can really see what we're doing here. You might use a strap in your hands. I'll show you a few different variations. So left knee is bent up. You're going to reach your left arm around and then either grab your strap or your right hand and let your head drop down. If this is uncomfortable, you can just drop the knee down and come back to kind of that first one that we did. On your inhale, you can lift up. And we'll switch legs. So let's bring left leg forward. Right foot can fold in. And then flexing your foot, you can lift up, send your tailbone back, drop your knee down. And if you're not feeling this behind the knee, you can stay right here, start to shift forward. So inhaling, getting longer, exhaling, shifting forward. Take one more breath where you are. And then as you lift up, you can bring your right foot into your left elbow crease. Start to rock back and forth. Maybe bringing the right hand to the right foot. Starting to open up a little bit more. Lift up. Can start to open up a little bit more. And then when you go to set your foot down, you can bring it down over your left leg, either in towards the hip crease or down towards the knee. Make sure you're not over the knee. And then finding your positioning, you can start to hinge forward again over the left leg. On your inhale, you can lift up. Right foot to the outer edge of your left thigh. And then either left arm around the right leg or to the outside. Inhale to get tall. And then exhale, find your twist. On your next breath, come back to center. We're going to come into that kind of funky one again. So right foot flat, and then wrapping the right arm to the inside and then around the front and behind. You can drop your head down. On your inhale, you can lift up, unwrap your arms, and then we'll bring legs wide, which is relative, subjective. Good. And so if you have a block or a blanket, it might be more comfortable to sit your hips up a little higher. We'll try to get long through the crown of the head, and then when you're ready, you can start to fold forward. This is going to be a longer hold. You might also like to have a blanket or a block under your forearms or elbows or forehead. Take one more breath here. And then you can press yourself up. Let's come down onto our bellies. And then bringing your elbows under your shoulders, we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So here we're trying to find some more length in the low back. We just were in a forward fold, so it might feel like you need a little bit of time to get from the forward fold into this little slight back bend. So take your time here. Legs are relaxed, glutes are relaxed, low back is relaxed. You're going to press your hands down gently and pull your chest forward to get a little extra space in the low back. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now you're going to bring your left hand across, so it's grazing your right elbow. And then bring your right hand back and grab your right ankle. And we're going to find a stretch through the quad. On your next breath, you can release. Bring your right arm down and across, and then left hand can reach back. next breath, you can release. And let's come back down, forehead to the mat, and just take a few breaths in relaxation. So you can stay down. We're going to come into double thread the needle next. So this is for the arms and shoulders. And you can do it as a double or as a single. So I'll show you two different options. The first one is to cross both arms across your chest, and your head can go down. If this feels like it's choking you a little bit and you don't have a block to place your head on, you might just do one arm at a time. So we're going to do this on our bellies. It's just hard for me to demonstrate it on my belly. You can come down, you can kind of situate your block so that it can be under your head or your pillow or whatever you have handy. If you don't have anything, it's probably fine. Just make sure that you can breathe. And then one arm and the other arm. I have my right arm closer to my face than my left arm. So we're looking for a stretch in the shoulders, the upper back. You might feel it in the upper arms as well. Let's switch the arms. So whichever arm was closer to your face is going to slide behind the other arm. On your next breath, you can release your arms and press yourself back to your child's pose. Again, any variation that feels good. When you're ready, come down onto your back. We're going to take an extended spinal twist today. Spend a little bit more time there than we have been. So from your back, you're gonna put your feet down, lift your hips up, and then slide them over to the left side. Wrap your left leg around your right leg, and then drop both knees down to the right side. Extend your left arm to the left, turn your head to the left, unless that's uncomfortable. And then right arm can also go out to the right, or it can stay just gently bringing a little bit of weight onto the outer edge of the left leg. Let's take one more breath and then come back to center. Unravel your legs. Lift your hips up and move them towards the right edge of your mat. And then wrap. Right around left. Drop down. Find whatever full expression of this feels good to you. Take one more breath and then come back to center. Let's bring the feet wide and the knees resting together. And then clasp your hands behind your head. Lift your chin towards your chest. Bring your head a little further towards the left. And then a little bit towards the right. And then back to center. And then gently release your head down. Bring your knees into your chest. Grab the insoles of your feet or your big toes. Find your happy baby. Gently rock from one side to the other. Back and forth a few times. And then coming back to center, press your tailbone down towards the ground. You might straighten your legs out a little bit or a lot. And then bringing your knees back into your chest. You can hold onto your knees for a breath. And then extend your legs down to the ground. Finding your Shavasana. Let your palms turn up. Take a moment to make sure that your body can relax here. And then bring your focus to your breath. Feel the sensation of the inhale as it comes in through your nose. See if you can keep your focus only on your nose. Your next breath, start to bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead. Nice long full body stretch, and then make your way up to a seat. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. It was nice to have you all here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, Amanda. Take care.
Bye, guys. Nice to see you, Zach. Bye, Charlene.